The eyes of this small-eared creature bulge almost out of his head. He's wearing a poncho-like garment in several colors.
Why are you asking me? I don't go anywhere near the Sardat. The Sardat doesn't know anything about... He wouldn't know anything about me. He wouldn't know anything. Do I look like a prisoner of his? Is that why you ask? No. His prisoners don't come out. Don't come out in one piece. Don't come out at all. Why do you think I'd know anything? Stop asking me! Why? Why are you asking? You don't ask about people in the Ivy, in the IVS, in the Imperial Vanguard, in the Scout Corps. Why are you asking me about high up peoples? You're trying to get me disappeared? Huh? The Ghost Claw. He's trying to get me killed. Is that what you want? You want to get me killed? What do you think you're asking? I won't go anywhere nearer. You won't get me anywhere nearer. You won't have that. You won't have me around for tap it. She comes out.
Beings that resemble yellow crystals with spindly, spider-like legs gather near a table. Glowing light in their crystalline bodies brightens and dims, accompanied by bursts of crackling noise.
It is a moon that is owned by the Islante noble Sardat Zolan Ulivestra, who controls the prison moon of Gota that is guarded by guards who serve the Islante noble Sardat Zolan Ulivestra. All Aslanti prisons are protected by a vanguard parapet because it is a starship specifically for guarding things such as prisons. The vanguard parapet has less shields on its forward side, but it has a heavy laser cannon on its forward side, and also a high-explosive missile launcher on its forward side, and a light particle beam that is on a turret so that it can also hit targets on its forward side, so it wishes enemy ships to target its forward side. It is not a very fast ship because it is for guarding prisons, which requires it to stay near the prison. He is an Aslante noble who is a member of the Imperial Fleet and who also owns the prison moon of Gota, which is why he is an Aslante noble. Gota is where Sardat Zolan Ulivestra keeps prisoners for the Imperial Fleet and also for himself, because he owns the moon and thus can use it for multiple purposes. Recently, he left the system to perform a military operation on Nakondis, which has a small colony that belongs to the Pact Worlds, because an Aslante survey probe crashed on Nakondis and sent back survey information that caused Sardat Zolan Ulivestra to perform a military operation on Nakondis. This military operation likely did not go well because foreign people are now in Aslantis space asking about Sardat Zolan Ulivestra.
A tiny pink squid-like creature floats in a large orb of water next to an upended minecart upon which various merchant wares have been arranged. The creature points at these goods with liquid tentacles that extrude from the globe of water. This chitinous humanoid sits forlornly by himself. Gauzy black veils are draped over his arms, and he dips the baleen hanging from his appendages into a plastic container holding a cloudy red substance.
My broken shell prefers the cold. Besides, the pests seem to follow me everywhere. Golda, the prison moon. Why would such upstanding-looking people like yourselves want to know about that place? It's owned by a powerful Aslanti noble, Zolan Ulivestra, and used for prisoners that need extra guarding. I would not go near him or his prison if I were you. He lives in the outpost's network of pipes and constantly moves. I am not sure how to call her out. This is one of the less stringently controlled stations in the Aslanti Star Empire. The people who come here have little regard for Aslanti rule. You clearly aren't from the Star Empire, so keep in mind, people here do things differently than how you might do things. You will have to be observant and patient. They are useful, are they not? I once studied them, and still do when I can, but am too tired from pain. I am working on learning to speak to the paralith that lives here, but it is difficult. I have taught it some of the concepts of trade, but my work is still incomplete.
This stout, dark-furred being has large eyes and 4 hand-like appendages. It sits near a blanket laden with items in the corner of the chamber, grunting and howling at passers-by and showing very sharp teeth in its massive maw. The sounds of rhythmic tapping echo from one pipe to another, reverberating in a soft chorus with each other until they finally die out. A minute passes without response, then 2, then 3. Patience eventually pays off, as the soft sound of nails clicking against metal heralds the arrival of a creature in response. A pair of huge, shimmering eyes appear in the darkness of a large bronze pipe 20 feet above the ground, then blink in curiosity as they regard the creatures down below.
"Foreign critters in Aslan space,"
the being asks, craning her long neck to get a better view of the people who summoned her.
"What dost thou seek here?" "Curious-like, the Aslanti should not be leaving one simple ship to guard the newly conquered territory,"
Talmarin muses, twirling her whiskers with a stubby claw.
"There has been no pronouncements of an annexation, nor any rumors of important military operations or discoveries. Thou wouldst not have passed through the borders of Aslan so easily if there were. I wonder if the Sardat is keeping secrets and exceeding his authority. They are always coming and going. The moon prison needs many supplies. Thou shouldst ask other merchants, or the Glimmershard pirates. They payeth more attention to where ships are crossing. Aslante's ships cometh not to Outpost Z unless they have good reason, so thou shalt need to lure one in, then take the ship and the cargo. I suppose thou wanteth not the crew, but I can take them from you for a while, free of charge, unless thy desire is to kill them for merely doing their jobs." "Shove that! I needeth to live here after thou hast poked the Aslanti and run off. And the Aslanti expect us to buy stolen ships, but stealing them ourselves is another matter. My modifications will get thee into a docking bay. Take thee this keycard. With it thou shalt be able to pass from the cargo bay to the cell blocks. Thou needst to be stealthy-like to survive. The Aslanti won't be mistaking thee for anything but packed wild critters, so thou shalt need the disguise to look like Aslant folk. If thou shouldst be caught or show up where thou should not be, the Aslanti will imprison or kill you. Be certain thou hast a clear escape route to run back to thy ship, for thou shalt need it. Like all Star Empire prisons, Gulta keeps its non-Aslant in one place. Gulta's is called Cell Block J. Thou shouldst start looking there. The Aslante don't keep machine-made androids like her in the same cages as other aliens. Aslante don't think the machine meats are sentient. Thou shalt have to look in cell block places separate from the other prisoners. There are 3. A Vesk named Mothkala, a Shirin named Shikik, and a Slivara whose name I'm not twisty-tongue enough for speaking. They were past diggers, archaeologists. They smuggled things off Aslante sites that once belonged to us Aslante aliens, and gave them back to the people who were supposed to own them. I smuggled for them for a long time, but one day they picked up something powerful the Aslante wanted, so the Aslante went and picked them up. I saw the Aslant ships moving in and flew off, never came in for the rendezvous. They probably think I've abandoned them, but I haven't forgotten. I am just a coward.